Learn about 20 sweetie pies who are not what you think, coming together to raise funds for the Grand Strand Humane Society. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Fox 43 studio. We're focused on the first annual Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant coming up this Thursday, April 1st. And we're visiting with Gail Alexander, the Director of Public Relations for the Grand Strand Humane Society. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning, Greg.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate being here.
This is so exciting. I think we're now right at 3 days from the kickoff of your first annual.
I am so excited.
You've got to be.
I am. It is going to be hilarious. It is a great event.
These 20 guys, I saw in a letter y'all had sent out, 20 prominent businessmen, and then I thought, I know some of those guys. They're not prominent. They're barely even businessmen. No, I'm kidding. It's very exciting. You've got a big lineup.
Right, and they are well known in the community.
Oh, yeah.
They really are.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys have good-naturedly agreed to do this event, and to me, I can't help but just be proud of them because they've actually gone above and beyond the call of duty to help support homeless animals. We started out with this, and it was like I wasn't sure whether we'd be able to recruit anyone or not, because actually what they've got to do, Greg, is they have got to dress up like a woman.
Oh, come on.
They have got to put on full makeup, wigs. They have to put on gowns. They will actually do talent, and the funny thing about it is most of them don't have any talent.
Yeah, oh no, golly, you're going to get in trouble.
So they've actually had to make up some stuff, which is going to make it even more hilarious. But we're going to do this event just like a real Miss America pageant. Oh. They will come out and do a little routine together. After that, each one will come out individually and perform a talent in front of judges, and the judges will be judging them on their talents. After that, they will all come out in their evening gowns and walk in front of the judges and do their quarter turns. The judges will then judge them on their poise and their presentation. They will finalize it to 5 contestants. We will announce those 5 contestants. Then each one of those will draw a card, just like on Miss America, and have a question that they have to answer. And, of course, they'll be judged on how they respond to that question and their comments. And then we'll tally all the votes, and at the end we'll we'll have 4 winners. One will be Miss Congeniality, and actually that is going to be the contestant that raises the most donations.
Oh, yeah, good.
So that's a real nice honor to have, because they've actually gone out and actually solicited sponsorships and sold a lot of tickets and just tried to raise as much money as they could. And the person that wins the Miss Congeniality will actually win 2 round-trip airline tickets on Hooters Air.
Is that right?
Yes.
Great.
So that's going to be a real treat for them. And then we'll have second runner-up, first runner-up, and then Miss Sweetie Pie 2004.
Golly.
It is going to be a fun night.
And there's no coincidence between April 1st, April Fool's Day, and the Sweetie Pie pageant.
Actually, it was kind of neat how that turned out, because when we were looking at the calendar, to be honest with you, we were looking for a Saturday night. We were having a difficult time finding a location that we could do it on a Saturday night. Revolutions was so nice. Craig Smith said, if you could do it during the week, absolutely, I could help you. He said, Saturday night won't be good for me, but during the week, I could certainly give you the club. So we looked at the calendar, and there it was, April 1st on Thursday. Perfect. It was very apropos.
And Thursday's a perfect night. I mean,
oftentimes
during the week, it's a night that folks will go out on a regular basis anyway.
Yes, it is. And I think people will really want to come to this event because it's different, and it is a night that they can just really relax and have a good time. And we're going to have hors d'oeuvres, and there will be a cash bar. Tickets are $25.
Okay.
And we like for people to think that a lot of that money is mostly their donation. And, of course, the donations that we receive all go to help the animals that we have at the shelter. And it helps them with food, supplies, medicine, preventative medicine, and veterinary care. So we're real excited.
You've got to be. Very definitely. Now, this kicks off at 6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock at Revolutions Dance Club, which is located at Broadway at the beach.
Okay.
I would love to tell you some of the contestants that are in it.
Yeah, please.
In case you don't mind me reading these out.
Read some of those names down. Very definitely.
Okay. Well, we have, first of all, and this is in alphabetical order, so it is, first of all, Joe Alexander, who happens to be my husband, and he's with Carolina First Bank. A lot of people can't believe that he's been in this event. He's a macho-type guy, works out at the gym all the time, but he was very nice, and he said, as long as it's in support of animals, certainly, I'll help you out with this event.
Yes.
So he's done a great job of raising some money for us. Bob Bessler, who's with the Sun News.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
knows Bob.
We love Bob.
Johnny Brown, Vice President of Beach First.
Oh, the great one.
Hal Katz, who is a dentist in Surfside.
Yeah.
Bob Donaldson, who's with Blanchard Rental Services. Bob Donatelli with Cold Rock Water and Coffee Company. Jeremy Finger, he's with Wachovia Securities. Bill Gasquey, New York Life Insurance. Sean Godwin with Palmetto Paving. Paul Coggin, who is with Celebrity Square. He is with Revolution, so he's the controller there. Steve Greenberg, who's the general manager over at the Crab House. Terry Hunt with Atlantic Appraisal. Mason Kerr with Mac Papers. David Kazmarek with Santee Cooper. Harry Pavelak, who's an attorney in town. We all know
kidding.
Harry. Yes.
Lord.
Chris Sabota, who's the manager of Liberty Steakhouse and Brewery. Chuck Stokes, who is Diane Devon Stokes' husband.
Yeah.
For Stages Video. Jonathan Staten, who's the president of Dagwood's Deli and Bumstead's Bar. And Linwood Yarborough, who's with Morgan Stanley. So I have a great group of guys.
What a hilarious group of prominent businessmen.
Can you imagine these guys all in dresses?
I can't, particularly a couple of those names.
I know it.
Golly.
It's like, I was surprised they said yes. I really was. But believe it or not, I've actually got a list started for next year. So,
oh, come on.
So this is something I think is going to be big.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just excited to know. Now, could a viewer buy a ticket at the door?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
I don't know at what point we'll have to cut ticket sales off because we do have a lot of tickets out there. So I do suggest that if anyone is interested in coming, that they may want to go ahead and give us a call or stop by the shelter to get tickets because we will have to cut the ticket sales off at some point.
Okay.
And like I said, we've got quite a lot out there. But I want to thank you. You're going to be one of our judges.
Oh, golly. Yeah, you had to get that out. That's right. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Very objective, by the way.
Oh, yes, of course.
A very objective judge. Who are the other judges?
Well, we have Brad Dean.
yeah.
Everybody knows Brad with the Chamber of Commerce. Pat Dowling with Burris and Chapin. Susan Means with City Council. And Myra Starnes. And everybody knows Myra from the Dickens Show.
Sure, sure.
And, of course, you.
Myself.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Well, actually, Pat and I recently judged, as it related to Harry, the meow contest at
was there.
At the cat ball, which was insane.
I was there. That was insane.
And I can't remember, Dr. Susan Van Epps actually won the meow
She
contest
did.
with some great competition there.
She had a lot of guts to get up there and do that.
She
I don't
did.
think I could do that. She did a great job.
Yeah,
Yes,
she really did. And the runners up on that, there was a woman who has like 70 cats who lives out maybe in Loris, or you must know this. The woman, I can't remember her name right now, who's real active to Save Our Cats, who pulled that off. And now the two of y'all's groups, the Grand Strand Humane Society and Save Our Cats, do you all ever work on anything in tandem? I know they're a very new organization.
Right, we do. We've helped them with their spay and neuters.
Okay.
We try to work as closely with all the other shelters and animal-related facilities that we can. And they came to us when they first started and asked us if we could help them out, and we have. So we were glad to do that.
One important thing, a viewer may be heading out to work right now, Gail, and the best number for someone to call about tickets is what?
448-5891.
Okay, 448-5891.
No, 448. Yes, 5891. Sorry.
Okay, 448-5891. So if they wanted to call now, today,
Monday,
and reserve it, or even as late as some point on Thursday, April 1st,
yes.
absolutely, just to make sure they had it put aside.
Right.
Because that'll be an overflow crowd, I'm sure.
I think it will be. I really do. We've had so much publicity about it, and we've had so many people talking about it. Everyone wants to go see these guys in dresses.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a sellout. I really do.
Well, that's great. All 5 of the objective judges cannot be swayed. I want to reiterate, we cannot be swayed. No, that's going to be a big evening. Absolutely. I'm very excited about that. What about for viewers who may not be familiar with the Grand Strand Humane Society. I know you've been in that position as Director of Public Relations for, I think, 7 years now, Gail.
Almost 7 years,
So there's
yes.
probably not too many folks here on the Strand that aren't familiar with the Grand Strand Humane Society. But for viewers and our viewers in the PD and southeastern North Carolina, who obviously have humane societies in their communities, what is it you all do that a viewer would need to know about?
Well, actually what we do is our mission is, of course, to help and save homeless and abandoned animals until loving homes can be found for them. So we take care of those in our shelter. We also try to reunite people with their lost pets. And I always encourage people, if your pet is lost, please call the Grand Strand Humane Society or come by, and also check with the other shelters in town, because a lot of people don't think about the fact that maybe whoever found your pet did, in fact, take it to one of the shelters. They will put posters up and look around the neighborhood, and then they assume that the pet's gone. And when we get a pet in that has been found, we keep it usually out of the public eye and for 7 days, waiting to see if an owner does claim it. If an owner does not claim it after 7 days, then we bring it up front where we can showcase it and put it up for adoption and try to find a very loving home for it. So I would like for the viewers to know that they can certainly come by and check with us. And our location is very easy to find. We're right off of the bypass on 10th Avenue North Extension. Actually, if you turn towards the waterway between Myrtle Waves Water Park and Wendy's and go to the very end of the street, you can't miss our facility. And I'm very proud to say that it is a brand new facility. We've been in it only 3 years after being in a very old, dilapidated, run-down facility for like 32 years. Our old facility was so horrid that actually people, when they walked in the front door, they couldn't get out fast enough. And it really hindered our ability to get animals adopted. Our new shelter is bright and cheery and sunshiny, and we have a nice big lobby when you walk in the front door. We let some of the animals loose, so they greet you. We all have cats walking, and dogs just walk right up and greet you when you walk in. Right. Then to the left, when you walk into the facility, we've got an area which we call our small animals, and there we house the puppies, and we have our cat rooms. We have 2 cat rooms. We also have a very nice adoption room, which you can, if you'd like to take one of the pets out of the cages and take them in this room and spend some quality time bonding with them to see if this might be the perfect pet for your home. We have that room. Most recently, on that same side of the building, we have just added a very new facility that we're very proud of, and it's our spay and neuter hospital. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a second, but while we're still in the shelter, on the right side of the shelter is our large kennels, and that's where we house our older dogs. And we have actually 2 kennels that we're able to house the animals there. And you can just come in at any time. We're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
From 11 to 6, Monday through Saturday. And on Sundays we are open from 1 to 5. And we encourage people to come by and visit with the animals. They're always anxious to have visitors. And a lot of times our staff is so busy that they don't always have the time to give that one-on-one quality time to each individual animal. So when a volunteer comes in or a guest comes in, these animals just light up. I mean, they're just thrilled to see someone, and of course they're hoping that someone's going to adopt them and take them home.
Yeah, you use the word volunteer. Do you all ever have room for volunteers?
All the time.
Really?
We absolutely adore volunteers and love volunteers. And we encourage people to come and volunteer with us. Like I mentioned, our staff are so busy taking care of the animals, they don't always have the time they need. And we like for volunteers to come and walk the dogs for us. And that's a nice treat, not only for the dogs, but also for the person themselves, because it gives them a little bit of exercise. Plus, when they leave, they feel good. They know that they've done something for that particular animal. And they may not be able to adopt, but they've helped that animal to become a little bit more sociable. And then, in turn, that helps us to find homes for them.
Now, do you ever have volunteers that will come out to walk the dog, maybe to find out if they'd like to possibly be an adopter? Oh,
sure, all the time. And we encourage that. We want you to come and get familiar with the animal before you make that decision. Because a lot of times people will adopt just off the spur of the moment. They'll tend to think with their heart instead of their head. And it might be that this animal requires too much time for you because your job may not allow you to spend enough time at home. So it may be instead of a dog, you may need a cat. A cat may be the perfect pet for you. Or instead of a large dog, a smaller dog may work better for you depending on where you live. But as far as volunteers, I always need volunteers for our events. Can always use volunteers to help out and be on our committees. It takes a lot of hours, a lot of hard work. When I say hard work, it's not really hard work, it's just a lot of time to pull these events together. So it's nice when I've got a good group of volunteers that want to help, and we make it fun. We really do.
I'm sure. Like this Thursday night's event.
Like this Thursday
just
night.
that. Now, of course, you all do some other big fundraisers during the year. What are some examples of other fundraisers that you all do on a regular basis, Gail?
Well, our biggest fundraiser of the year is our Walk for the Animals.
Okay.
And that's always held in October, usually right before Halloween. And we have actually taken this event from a small pet parade that raised only $1,600 up to Walk for the Animals. We actually changed the name to Walk for the Animals, and we have raised over $50,000.
$50,000?
Yes.
You're kidding. That's fantastic.
And our goal is to one day put it on the same level as the other walks, the other charitable walks that raise over $100,000 a year. So that's our goal. We hope one day we can reach that. But it is a fun day for the entire family, and that's what makes this event so special. It's because it's for everyone. Young, old, single, married, children, people with pets, people without pets. It's just a fun day, and it's out at Broadway at the beach.
Right.
And people bring their animals and dress them up in Halloween costumes. And they are hilarious. They're about as funny as these guys are going to be that are in the Sweetie Pie pageant.
Yeah.
But these animals are dressed up in these darling little Halloween outfits, and we actually have a parade. We parade around Broadway at the beach. Then when they get back, we have contests. We have best pet costume, best pet trick, and my favorite is pet owner look-alike. That is always hilarious. But we give awards and prizes, and of course we encourage businesses to have teams and to collect money for us. And we just make it a really fun day. We have booths out there where we sell different items and T-shirts, and we have food. So it's a carnival-like type atmosphere.
How about that category, Best Owner Look-alike?
Best Owner Look-alike.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some examples of that. I wish we had some pictures to show.
I wish I had brought some, because it is funny. And people do tend to look like their pets a lot of times. They really do. And so that makes a really fun category to have and a good prize to win.
I know there's not a lot of folks like myself who didn't grow up around pets at all. I grew up in an apartment complex. We weren't allowed to have any pets whatsoever. They later changed it so that cats were allowed, and birds, of course. But dogs are still not allowed in that complex, where my parents still live in Durham. And I think about that when you have folks who visit the Humane Society who've never experienced or interacted with pets, may have an inherent fear of pets other than cats, of dogs, for instance. What's that like? Do you go through a process to really help someone, as you say, think with your head first and then with your heart later?
We do, and actually, once someone has made that decision that they want to just come out and maybe visit and think about it, it doesn't take long to change their mind and let them know that, yes, you don't even have to think anymore. A pet would just bring so much joy into your life. As a matter of fact, we had a really nice thing happen one day. We were taking a pet on a TV show, by the way, and this lady was there that was going to be on the show ahead of us. She did not have any pets, didn't really care for pets, and the last thing she wanted was a pet in her house. Her house was full of these beautiful antiques. Well, we're sitting there with this pet, and they locked eyes, and it was almost this instant bond, and she just kept looking at that pet and looking at that pet and thinking about it, and she could not get that dog off her mind. And so after the show, she called us and said, I cannot stop thinking about that little dog. So we let her take it home for a little spend the night, just a little over the night getaway, and she fell in love, and it was her first dog, and she will not part. That dog is with her sleeps with her, is by her side all the time. So she is one happy lady and this one happy little dog.
How exciting, Gail.
It was
that
exciting.
It must be great for you all to be able to provide that kind of joy for a parent or an adopter.
Oh, it is. It makes us feel so good when we can place these animals in loving homes because they do deserve a second chance. Because so many times they end up at shelters and it's not their fault. Sometimes it's because people, their jobs keep them away from home and they can't spend the quality time they need. Or sometimes a baby comes into the family and the pet may tend to be able to show some signs of jealousy, and so they feel like that maybe they need to find another home for the dog. There's just different things that happen. A lot of times people are moving and for some reason, they can't take the pet with them. Of course, one of the biggest reasons we have an overflow of unwanted animals is because people don't have their pets spayed and neutered. And if I don't get any other message across today, I would like to get that message across, that how important that is. A lot of people feel like, that they're just one person, they have one pet, that's not going to make a difference. In fact, it does make a huge difference. I know a lot of people don't like statistics, but it really makes you stop and think when one female cat and her offspring in 7 years can produce 420,000 kittens.
Come on, one female cat and her offspring
in 7 years can produce 420,000 kittens. That is amazing, and it's scary, and it's sad. One female dog and her offspring in 6 years can produce 62,000 puppies. So that's why one person spaying or neutering their pet does make a difference. It really does.
That's incredible.
It is. It is.
And what's the significance for a viewer who may not be familiar with spaying and neutering? What's occurring there? What's happening?
Well, actually, it is a medical procedure where they come and they can go to their own vets, or we have a hospital that we could do that in, and we just fix the animals where they're not able to reproduce anymore.
Okay.
And the nice thing about it, too, is a lot of times it makes these animals a lot calmer, and they make better pets, actually.
So this is done for not only cats, but dogs as well.
Right. And like I said, we've got our new hospital now that we were very fortunate to have the blessings of the Chapin Foundation, who helped us build this hospital, and we've got the spay and neuter clinic. And what we do is we try to help those families that are low-income families, that may not be able to afford to go to a vet on their own. And so we are able to help those families out.
Yeah, I remember when you called me to talk to me about judging this, being one of the judges of the Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant. You talked to me about some of the ways that donations are so valuable. And this $25 ticket price, as well as the cost of entry for the Walk for the Animals and the golf tournament you all have in June, those funds will be applied to food, supplies, medicine, preventative medicine, as well as much of the veterinary care for the shelter animals. Those 5 key items are so valuable on a daily basis.
Oh, yes. And we basically, from day to day, we have to constantly be trying to raise money to take care of these animals. We house approximately 220 animals at all times.
Is that right?
And we take in about 3,500 animals a year. So it takes a lot of money to house these animals and to care for them and give them the things that they need to keep them comfortable, and like I say, until we can place them in homes.
If a viewer can't make it out for the Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant this Thursday, but still want to find out more, they can always call, and the best number again, Gail?
It's 448-5891.
Okay, 448-5891 to find out more. Of course, they can also go online. You all have a website.
Yes, we do, and it's very easy. It's grandstrandhumanesociety.com. And once you go into our website, you can actually click onto the link of Pet Finders.
Okay.
In Pet Finders, we list pretty much most of the dogs that we've got available for adoption.
Great. So grandstrandhumanesociety.com, and you can go to that link of Pet Finders.
Right. Okay,
great. I saw that. You also have a petfinders.org site if someone was just going directly there.
Yes.
To see the lineup of the guests, which is very important. Lastly, Gail, if you wanted to get one message out, obviously the spay and neutering is a vital one. and surely promoting this Thursday night Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant. Is there any other message you'd really want to get out to a viewer?
Just to take care of your pets, because and to remember that, as far as I'm concerned, pets are a lot like babies. They're not able to tell you their needs or what they want or if they're hurting. The only way they can really communicate is through their eyes, and of course they say the eyes are the windows to your soul, and I believe that. I believe that if you love your pet enough, you can pick up on what they're trying to tell you, and I feel like people should be aware of that and try to take care of them. Make sure that they're taken to their veterinarian on a regular basis, and that their shots are up to date, and that, especially if you have a dog, that they are on heartworm preventative. So many animals die because of that. But that is one thing I'd like for people to do, is just to love your pets and take very good care of them.
The message is real simple. Love your pets. Take great care of them. If you don't have a pet but want to learn more, you could visit the Grand Strand Humane Society. They're at the 10th Avenue North Extension. Or you can get out this Thursday night to the Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant, 6 p.m. at Broadway at the Beach. Gail, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. The event's the Sweetie Pie Beauty Pageant. The date, this Thursday, April 1st, 6 p.m., Revolution's Dance Club, Broadway at the Beach. Donation is $25. You can call the Grand Strand Humane Society at 448-5891 to learn more. Get out there. The Grand Strand Humane Society needs your help.